let's move on to what we're playing. So, we'll start with Jonah.
Hey.
I mean, you guys are pretty much playing the same thing.
Yeah, Destiny 2.
Yes, I'm playing Overwatch as well.
Yeah, I started playing Destiny 2 a lot more recently because I wanted to get Escalation Protocol done. And after a while of loading in, hoping I would get into an instance they were doing it, I finally did it. And I completed it, but I didn't get the shotgun that I wanted. So, finally, after a bunch of failed attempts, last night, I LFG'd it, and I finally got the shotgun.
What time in the morning was this?
1:30 a.m.
It's not terrible. Usually...
Well, I completed it after 1:30 a.m., but I started at that point.
Oh, you started?
Started at that point.
That's a champ.
Yeah.
Right there.
So, finally got that done. I might not do the SMG this week. Is it SMG? I don't know.
For what? Oh, Escalation Protocol?
Yeah, they have a new...
Does it change?
It changes every week.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's shotgun, then it's sniper, then SMG, or something like that.
Interesting.
So,
Carmine, how about you? How was your Destiny experience
Just
this
Destiny,
week?
I did the Escalation Protocol too. I didn't get the shotgun though, so this guy can go kick rocks.
I did.
Wait, and shoot him with a shotgun.
And then I was playing Overwatch a little bit. So want to get back in the Rainbow Six Siege soon.
So,
because they had the new DLC.
How is Overwatch these days?
It's still Overwatch. It plays just as well as it did a while ago.
Have you played the Bridget new character?
Yeah, I played her. I haven't put
That's
enough
what this
time.
is right here?
Yeah, I haven't put enough time into learning how to play her yet. I've been spending most of my time with a lot of the main characters that they play on Overwatch League. And like I said, they can use whoever they want. But Tracer, Winston, I've been actually spending more time with and liking him a lot more. He's just disruptive. He's one of those kind of disruptive characters. You throw down the bubble shield on the objective and you have the little electric gun or whatever.
You can launch people.
Yeah, you launch people with the super. There's some other characters that get used a lot. Widowmaker gets used a ton. Diva gets used a ton. Orisa gets used a ton. So I've just been kind of playing some of those characters just to get kind of comfortable with them. But I'm one of those players that I'll play a wide variety. I can play as Zenyatta. I can play a Symmetra. I can play a Moira. So, and it really depends on the game type and who picks what, but I try to be a little bit more selective of what... I look at what everybody else is playing, and then I'll select what my class is.
I remember when I played Overwatch, I mainly played Junkrat, just because it was really fun to launch those grenades.
He's a pretty easy character to he's approachable, very approachable. Him, Pharah... very approachable characters kind of get used to. You play somebody like Tracer, and if you don't really understand how she's supposed to be used,
you get stripped to shreds. Yeah. She doesn't have a lot of defense if you don't know what you're doing. A lot of health,
but you have to. It's that unload a clip, teleport out, reload, unload a clip, teleport back and forth. So it's just there's a lot of there's different elements to the game that allows for you to try and play different characters, but that's what the actual hook is too. Because every time that you want to play something new or you play different characters, you're playing a whole new game.
Yeah.
So
nice.
So about it.
All right.
Overwatch League is huge right now.
Yeah.
Overwatch is good.
Yeah, it's just I don't really have anything I want to play.
You want to play Battleborn? Let's get rid of Overwatch. Battleborn's back.
It's definitely not.
Battleborn bounces back.
But there's nothing really right now I kind of want to play. I still feel like I need to go and finish Doom. But I just cannot bring myself to beat Doom.
When'd you restart Doom? Just start over from scratch?
I started over from scratch 4 times.
Play it on easy. And
it's not even easy. It's not even the difficulty. I just don't want to play it.
it's
just really repetitive.
Then it's not your game.
If you play it on easy,
but everybody loves it.
You could
so
just
much.
steamroll through it, no problem.
No, I know. But
quickly.
I don't think I'm far. I don't think I've gone far enough into the game to really.
If you had a PC, I'd highly recommend downloading Brutal Doom. It's freaking awesome. It's old school Doom, but with better animation.
I never look
guns
back,
and
John.
stuff.
I just look forward.
He looks forward.
That's why you wouldn't do good in...
Red Dead Redemption was as far back as I was going.
I saw Red Dead Redemption, the zombie DLC standalone disc or something at Toys R Us, and I was going to buy it, but even with discounted, it was more expensive than everywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
This is why Toys R Us is going under. But
I was like, I don't know about this.
You could have talked them down. Be like, hey, listen, what do you care? You're not going to have a job in a few days. Just let me walk out with this. Here's $5.
I have this bag of shit. I'm walking out. Stop me if you want.
So, anywho.
It's going in a landfill anyway. Probably. I don't know how it works.
That's
If
exactly
they don't
how
sell
it
it,
works.
what are they going to do with
They'll
it?
sell through it.
They turn them into tables.
Tables.
Exactly. They melt everything down. So, I've been playing... let's see. All right, first I'll just say God of War. Been trying to catch up on that. I didn't get too far. Didn't have a lot of time to play it. So, but I'm keeping my promise and I'm working towards being able to play the new one.
Are you still on one?
Absolutely.
What the hell are you doing?
Not playing God of War. Trying to. Playing it slowly, but I'll get there. And here's one.
There it is.
So I've been playing the Octopath Traveler demo. I downloaded it yesterday. Played it for a little bit.
That screenshot looks awesome.
This one here?
Like the giant Viking dude.
Oh, this dude.
Yeah. Is that a boss in the demo?
I did not get that far. Okay, so here's my hands-on preview review of what I've been playing so far.
I will only accept it's dope as hell.
Well, then you're gonna have to leave.
Oh.
Here's my problem. All right, so what's cool? I love the visuals, game-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice that they actually have some voice acting. I don't know if it's complete because there's like when it goes into like a cut scene in a way, it'll have the full dialogue with the voices, but then once you're in the game itself and you're interacting with other people, it's the words come up, but like the voices are kind of like, oh.
No, I've seen that. I've seen that happen in some JRPGs. They do that. That might be just how the game's gonna be.
Now and then there's a bunch of characters you can choose. I of course just went with the broadsword warrior guy just because why not? Even though I'm regretting that I should have went with someone else just to kind of see what the difference is.
Can't you pick 8 characters?
Yeah. There's I think there's 8 different paths and they all have their own story.
Yeah.
So that you can play. You don't have the same experience with each one.
Octopath for 8. Okay, so like I said, the initial visuals of the game, the fighting menu, everything's cool about it. Like it's real nice and crisp and all that stuff. The bad I don't like. The visuals are so nice. You really wish there was some sort of cutscene to help bring in the more emotion, because the character I'm playing, there's something that happens to him in the past, and then you kind of go through that for a little bit, then go cut to the future. And the way it's presented, the voice acting's fine. It's not like campy or anything like that. But I really wish there was some sort of cutscene, like a Final Fantasy sort of thing, where it kind of brings you in, and then you can use that as the gameplay. Because it's just like I'm not feeling the emotion.
That's how JRPGs are, though, for a lot of this stuff, right? Especially that kind of art style.
But for the art style and modern, like the way they try to modernize it, like this isn't something on a handheld. This is, I mean, if you call Switch a handheld, but this is something
Definitely a handheld.
This is something that you can watch like on your TV and stuff. I would have liked that little bit extra just to help with the story, because that's something that you would like. Like the visuals and the fighting and the moving and everything like that are fantastic. They're great. The attacks are cool. And there's nothing wrong with the gameplay. Everything's cool. But it's just, I wish there was a little bit something in there. And it's actually funny because there's a part in the beginning where you're training or something, like you learn the mechanics, and there's like 2 guys come up to you and they want to practice fighting and whatnot, so you learn the battle system. But while you're fighting them, like in that, you fight one and then you can fight the other one. So what you do is you go up to them and instead of like hitting the dialogue, you hit I think it was like triangle or something, and then like, what do you want? You can attack them or ask if they want to duel. You can go to any building, to anybody, like an old lady or an old man, and ask to fight them, and they'll fight you. It's just...
Does it show an old lady sprite fighting you?
Well, yeah, it's their character fighting you.
Crazy.
But
is that his like special ability to duel people? Because I'm pretty sure they all have their special abilities.
I don't know if that's a special ability. I just think that's funny because it's just training in general. So you're in this village that I guess you're trying to learn or there's people that want to fight and stuff like that. And basically my guy was a knight, but he doesn't go by knight anymore. He's just like, I'm just a man with a sword or something like that. So
it's pretty long. I'd go by knight.
But I mean, that's visually looks great. I didn't have time to do the whole thing, but I do wish a little bit that they had the like some sort of cutscene, even if it was like, say the cutscene wasn't moving, but it just kind of had like like still images sort of in a way,
Mm.
but it's just I feel like there needs something to give a little more emotion because I feel like this game story wise is gonna be great, and I just feel like it deserves that little bit. So, but I highly recommend downloading it. It's gonna be a 3 hour, so as soon as you download it and play it, you got 3 hours in game to play it. So, and then
Wait, they have a time limit?
it's 3 hours. So once you play, it's not like you download it and you have 3 hours to play it.
Oh, it's like a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
A
Okay.
3-hour demo.
I was
3-hour
like-
demo.
I was like, you're gonna limit me on 3 hours for this demo? Come on.
No. It's basically you can play 3 hours.
Gotcha.
So anyway, yeah, that's Octopath Traveler. This was a game on my radar for a while just because of the visuals. I liked the way they were doing it. Like just look at that, it's cool. It's like old school, but it has enough. It's got like this depth of field look to it that looks really cool. And yeah,
Oh, click that boar. Get the boar on the bottom right.
this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Look at
cool.
him.
Our style's cool. It's just I do wish there was more, like to help the
More pizzazz.
pizzazz for like visuals or the story anyway. So anyway, I've been also playing The Division again because the sequel
Not
was
the
announced
Division.
and played and all that jazz. So I played with my brother. I haven't put it in for a while, so there was a 3 hour update to it.
Mm.
We played it, and it's still. We didn't get too deep into it. Well, we played a mission or two, and it's still frustrating. I still feel like you're playing this, like fighting the same guy. The guys with the tanks on their back. You shoot the tanks, they blow up. Visually, it's cool and all that jazz, but it's like
It might be kind of like how Destiny isn't too fun unless you know what you're doing or being shown what to do. Because in the beginning, if you're just playing stuff, you're not really sure when the game's going to get good.
I just don't think Division was just fun to play.
Yeah.
the problem is, and I hope the sequel, it's everything you want to like modify and do stuff. Like they always bring you back to headquarters. Like you go to headquarters. I mean, you can add like silencers and stuff to your gun in the menus, but like you have to always go back to this. And it's not like you can just run in there. Like you go into the door and you walk. You have to walk.
Yeah, that always got me.
They're like scanning you or decontaminizing you or whatever. Contaminating you.
Contaminizing.
Whatever, I make up words. So
Watching.
it's the watching. But it's frustrating every time you do that. And you have to do that because then you unlock different things and do this and do the other thing. Controls wise, it works great. It's good. You can roll and stuff like that. Thing that Ghost Recon was missing. To be able to just like dive and roll, especially when you're fighting the Predator.
Yep.
Which that was a thing. But it's really, I don't know, it doesn't have me excited to want to play again. And the sequel looked exactly like the same thing. You're still fighting a guy with a tank on his back in that demo that they showed. So
But it's going to have 8-person raids, John. And it's going to have all free DLC that I have no idea how they're going to freaking fund.
I still don't know the difference between an incursion and a raid. Because my understanding...
There was incursions in the Division. They're
Yeah.
actually calling Division 2
raids.
Yeah, but are they the same activity, just a new name?
I have no idea.
Because I was under the impression that incursions were the Division's answer to raids.
And they're saying they're going to have like multiple raids out at a given time. Like you might actually get a raid from Division 2 right off the bat or launch it a couple weeks later, and then you might have more raids like a few weeks after that.
Oh.
I'm like, I don't believe anything that they're saying.
Because if it's going to be like...
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ubisoft has a entire giant set of studios that could help on this game. I don't know.
But if they're thinking about making a Division raid to be as big or as good as a Destiny raid, then have every couple weeks a new raid is going to be kind of a...
It's going to be a guy with a tank you have to fight every time.
But the thing, it may not. It might be just a tank. It could be like a helicopter. It could be, I don't know, it could be a bunch of different things.
Hulk Hogan?
But maybe.
Hulk Hogan.
Talking to you, brother. But the thing is, too, is that like I'm thinking about like how the raids are at Destiny. It's like you have different buffs. You have different... I'm trying to think of like... I guess they're just considered buffs or debuffs. You have different abilities. You have more actions you can take in a shooter. Like you can actually jump. In Division, you can't really jump from platform to platform. Like there's a little bit more there's a little bit more mechanics that go into what they do with Destiny raids, and I don't know how that's going to work in Division. Like you can try and be tactical, but being tactical may not be fun.
Yeah. And there probably won't be any of those puzzle challenges like Destiny's raids have.
Well, they're going to have to.
Platforming
Like I said,
challenges.
I'm sure they're looking at Destiny. They're going to have to come up with puzzle challenges. They're going to have to come up with something.
If there was a jump feature,
Because if it's just like go in
change.
here, kill this group, boss battle. Go in here, kill this group, boss battle.
That'll just be an encouragement.
Like you think about like what they did with like the Taken King raid, like what they did with the ogre,
The dick wall.
the dick wall. What they did with the ogre though, where you had to drop the bubble, jump in the actual pool to actually do more damage to him. Like there's stuff like that like just doesn't make sense in the real world.
Golgoroth.
Yeah, Skullgroth, thank you. It's been a while. Or like the plates when you actually fight orcs. Like there's certain things that work in that kind of a universe that I just don't see working in the Division.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's a military-based shooter.
they'll have something figured out. But the thing is, though, with the Division, playing it's a fun time. It gets crazy. Sometimes it just gets frustrating too. But there's setbacks to it. Like you're always going back to the headquarters. Like I'm saying to do this, and then but it's a slowdown. It's like slows everything down. And then it just, like I said, you just feel like you're doing the same thing either in a different building or different outside area.
Yep.
So hopefully they change that. I didn't play, I don't know, other aspects of the game, like different modes and stuff, but what I was playing was like the campaign and stuff like that, just trying to jump back into it. And it's an in-depth game if you're into that sort of thing. You can level up this, level up that, a bunch of different weapons. But, I don't know, I just feel like after fighting the same guy over and over and over again, it's old. So, but maybe I'll move on to Rainbow Six.
Also, another thing I didn't like about the Division was how everything pretty much looked the same everywhere. And
Rainbow Six is competitive,
dull.
though. Your brother's not going to want to play competitive.
Oh, he used to play competitive. He used to be part of the ranked matches only in Rainbow Six
right.
Vegas.
Well, good. Good. Let's go. Why are we not... let's make it happen. All right? Let's make it happen. New map, villa, new operators.
Is there a year 3 bundle?
There's a girl that puts up a freaking hologram of herself to distract them. Let's go.
So, anyway, that's pretty much what I've been playing. So, you guys have anything? You guys are...
Nope. I said my spiel about Division. The only other thing I want to add to Division is how are they going to make all the content free?
Video games suck.
Well, here's what they're going to do. They have it all made already, and they're going to...
Sprinkle it.
Yeah, pretty
upon
much.
you.
They're not going to give you the full game. They're going to...
You're going to do a
have
couple
a little bit of
taps.
this, have a little bit of that. Exactly, that thing.
Salt Bay it on you.
Okay,